Addition and subtraction of fractions. Whenever we add or subtract a fraction, we always have to have our denominators to be the same. They have to be like. If you notice in I here, the denominators are the same, so that's going to work out great. I can go ahead and add the numerators. So that means we're going to have 2 plus 4 over that 5. 2 plus 4 is 6. And you always reduce if possible. 6/5 does not reduce, so that'd be my final answer unless you're asked to write it as a mixed number since it's an improper fraction. So be sure and read. Double I here, you notice the denominators are the same, so we can go ahead and subtract straight across. 5 minus 1 over 3, which 5 minus 1 is 4, gives me 4/3. However, if you look at this next one here, you'll notice I have a 20 and a 5 in the denominator. So we need to find its least common multiple, right? Or we also call it, since it's a fraction, least common denominator, meaning what is the smallest number that both those numbers will go into? Well, I know 20 will go into itself, and I know 5 will go into 20. So I don't need to change the first term. However, I do need to change the second one. I'm going to ask myself, 5 times what will give me 20? Well, I know 5 times 4. Whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do the same thing to the numerator. So now I have 1 times 4 over 5 times 4, and now I can rewrite it as 7 minus 4 over 20, which is 3/20. That's a proper fraction, will not reduce, so I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to let you do this one and this one. Let's talk about 6 here. This one here has 3 terms. And if you notice, all 3 terms has a different denominator. So we need to figure out a number that all 3 of these will go into. Well, I know 3 will go into 9, but it won't go into 8. 8 won't go into 9. However, if I said 9 times 8 is 72, well, will 3 go into it? Well, let's see. 72 divided by 3 gives me back 24. So yes, let's do that. 9 times 8 is 72, and that would be my least common denominator. So I have to change all 3 terms in order for us to have that common denominator in it. And they're all going to change by something different. So 9 times 8, so 8 goes on top here. 8 times 9, and then 3 times 24. All right, so now we have it written where our denominators are going to be the same, so let's just rewrite it all over that 72. On top, I got 4 times that 8, plus 5 times that 9, plus 2 times that 24. So 4 times 8 is 32, plus 5 times 9 is 45, plus 2 times 24 is 48, all over 72. And now we can add them all up, right? We got 32 plus 45 plus 48. That's 125 all over 72. Now, 125 we know is divisible by 5. 72 is not. However, 72 is divisible by 2, and it's also divisible by 3. So if 125 will divide by 2 evenly, which it won't, we could use that. Let's try 3. Does not. So this is in its simplest form. So I'm going to let y'all finish up this section. Ask me questions when we meet again. And then we have these application problems. So what do we got here? Keith's total income for the year is $36,000, and he spent 1/4 of his income on rent. He spent 1/12 of his income on his car. What portion or fraction of his income did he spend on these 2 items, and what is the total amount spent? So if I take that 1/4 and add it to that 1/12, we're going to get our portion that is on rent in the car. 12 and 4 is in the denominator. I know that 4 will go into 12, so I only have to change this first fraction. 4 times 3 gives me 12. So it means whatever I did to the bottom, I'll have to do the top. 3 times 1 over 12 plus that 1/12 gives me 4/12. Well, this actually reduces. 4 goes in itself once, goes in 12 3 times. So 1/3 of his income was spent on rent and his car. Now we want to know what was the total amount spent. So if I took that 36,000, right, and we multiplied it by that 1/3, we get 12,000. That was spent on rent and his car. Do the other two applications and let's talk about it in class.